Well, hello guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. You know, I'm sitting here, I've got to get my car inspected so they can finish getting the tags and things from the truck. I finally, after 15 years, had to go ahead and get another one. It's going to be funny to see what my man has to say when he sees I'm in a different truck, because usually I'm over here with a broke down truck that's making some kind of noise or something needs to be fixed. And my big red truck, it was difficult for them because their lift really wasn't big enough to pick that big ass up. So I'm gonna get that taken care of. But you know, it's funny because I've got so many of you Eagle fans out there that keep saying that, you know, you're scared of the Eagles, you're scared of Carson Wentz, and blah blah blah. You know, that's why you're always talking about Carson Wentz, because you're scared. And it's like, wait, I don't know what the hell Philly.500 is on, okay? But he's like hyper. He's like, hey, how you doing, man? It's a Philly.500 here, you know, and he's always got the Dallas Cowboys in his mouth, always. And he's always coming after me, Mark Holmes. And I mean, he literally has me in his intro, you know, taking things out of context. You know, and you're double moonwalking up your ass. It's like,
fans, okay? Evil always does things in secret, in the dark, where nobody can see. Good always does things in the open, in the light. And that's exactly what Carson Wentz and these wide receivers are doing, because they're in your state, working out, showing you right to your face, you're going to get double moonwalk.
Let me see. You think I'm kidding? Look. I've been minding my own business and dealing with the world, having coronavirus, having the marches, you know, trying to get the red brick house put together, trying to save the world, trying to get people to, as Gerald McCoy says, spread love each other. You know, that's what it's supposed to be about. Yet Philly.500, all he keeps doing is spreading hate. That and delusional thoughts, because, you know, he's up there, oh, you know, the Cowboys, you know, in evil, everything is under dark. But here it is, Carson Wentz. He's out there working out with this guy in Texas, in their own backyard. Yeah, I mean, really, dude? Really? This stuff is getting crazy, Philly. I think you need to get outside. I'm beginning to worry about you, that you've got this mad obsession. And it's so funny because I'm sitting here, like I said, I've been waiting in line. I was fourth in line, and I've got one more car in front of me, so I'm up next. But it was funny because we've got the Cowherd talking about Carson Wentz is the new Russell Wilson. And he's taking, you know, offense that Pro Football Focus doesn't have him as one of the top 50 players or the 10 guys that are on the list behind it. And literally he's saying that if he's starting a franchise, he's taking Russell Wilson, excuse me, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and then Carson Wentz. Really? And see, this is the funny part about this. Well, actually, watch it. Watch the clip.
Drive me nuts. They had a top 50 player list last week. It didn't have Aaron Rodgers in it, didn't have Carson Wentz in it. But yesterday they came out and said, okay, here's the 10 guys that almost made it, and here's why they didn't. They didn't even have Carson Wentz in that. So he's not one of their top 60 players. Sometimes I think with Carson Wentz, I'm misspelling his name when I Google him. Like, I always, with quarterbacks, take out the rookie year. Don't count the rookie year. Start with the second year. In the last 3 years, 81 touchdowns, 21 picks. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. 64.5% completion percentage, passer rating at 98. And in one of those years, he was throwing to deck chairs and lawn furniture. What is... And I said this, I take pride in spotting quarterback talent early. I did it with Russell Wilson 3 and 4 years ago. I said, folks, stop it. It's not the Seahawks defense. It's not Pete Carroll. It's not Marshawn Lynch. Russell Wilson is the secret sauce to this near dynasty. I don't get the Carson Wentz pushback. Well, he's been hurt. He's missed 8 regular season games in 4 seasons. Not that hurt. Is it because he played in a college we didn't watch on TV? Is it because Nick Foles won and we think, well, if Nick Foles could win, anybody could win with your talent? He is the player in the league now. Because I think people have come around. I think they eventually came around on Andrew Luck. I think they've come around on Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson now has not just me, but dozens of backers. Wentz is the new Russell Wilson. He's good. Stop it. He's the only guy in this league that you watch Patrick Mahomes and you can see Wentz. Arm, angles, talent, mobility, size, moves. Gets banged up a little bit because they move around a lot. He's it. Nobody else in this league looks like Mahomes. Wentz kind of looks like him. So I think that's where we're at. And I've said this before. There's I saw ESPN had a thing yesterday where they took this year's draft order and they went 4 rounds. If you could draft any current player in the league, and they had Carson Wentz 11th, behind Nick Bosa. So you'd start a franchise with Nick Bosa, Ronnie Stanley, Drew Brees, and Dak before Carson Wentz. I don't even understand it. You'd start it with a defensive end, a 40-year-old quarterback, an offensive tackle, a defensive tackle. I don't understand it. I don't. If you're asking me, I'm not going to do a quarterback list. If you're asking me today, every quarterback on the planet, the 3 I would pick to start my franchise in this order: Mahomes.
Here's the funny thing about it is when you watch that clip, the first thing he does is, I always say, take the rookie year out. Don't count that. Why do you not count that? Because it benefits your argument? Because you got to look at a career in totality. And another one of those things that he puts in there, of course, is he was throwing to deck furniture and lawn chairs. I'm sorry. Isn't Zach Ertz one of the best tight ends in football? Dallas Cowherd, isn't he? He's pretty good. And I've got the running back out the backfield. I'm wondering if those guys enjoy being called lawn furniture and deck chairs. Because I look at Zach Ertz as one of the top 3 tight ends in the NFL. Now, by comparison, when Dak Prescott had Terrence Newman, Bryce Butler, Cole Beasley, tight end, no Jason Witten, Blake Jarwin hadn't really even hit the field, and Rico Gathers was actually in the mix. I could say that definitely was lawn furniture and deck care. No disrespect to Cole Beasley and things, but you can't go ahead because his argument now is, Carson Wentz didn't have those guys. Dak didn't have those guys. He's not elevating. I'm just trying to tell you, this is what you get. They do everything to make Carson Wentz, when there's negative news, make him elevate, okay? When it's Dak Prescott, they make sure that it's negative. And I want you to, the reason why I talk about these things is because I want you to see the differences. Because a lot of times, there's biasness out there, and you don't believe or don't see that it's actually there. Unless you see it, you don't understand it. You don't believe it. You don't think it exists. But there is a lot of bias out there against different things and causes and so forth. So you have to first identify that there is such a thing before you can do anything about it. And Colin Cowherd can consistently, whether or not you say Dak Prescott is on that level, but let's be honest. If you're starting a franchise, you're saying Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and then Carson Wentz? Really? Carson Wentz? Come on. I'm not saying Dak is number 3, but there's a whole lot more people that you would start a franchise with besides Carson Wentz at number 3. Let's be real. I'm not even sure that Eagle fans will buy that one. All right. Looks like they're just about finished with this other guy, so I'm up next. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Well, the good news is it passed with flying colors, and he couldn't find anything wrong with it. Like, the tires are great. He said the brake shoes and all have been changed recently, so I'm good to go on that one. Even the windshield wipers are in great shape, which is not typical for me. Usually when I go in there, I got a laundry list of shit I need to, excuse my language, stuff that I need to fix on the truck. So that's kind of new for me. On a side note, my cousin Daniel came up and looked at my other truck, and come to find out, I'm gonna be first to tell you, I'm not that guy that works on cars. I go get my oil changed and things like that, and I let other people do the maintenance. But turns out my oil light never came on. I had the oil changed at Jiffy Lube about 1,000 miles ago, but there is not a drop of oil in it. There's no oil on the engine. There's no oil that's being burnt out the tailpipe. There's no oil on the ground. So we think they didn't fill it all the way up with oil, and that the engine seized up. So there's that. All right, I gotta go out and pick up some wood, but hope you guys have a great day, and I will be seeing you soon. And Eagles, you suck. You suck. Philly, you suck.